Let's dive a bit deeper into holistic SEO by exploring a metaphor. Now, at Yoast, we're big fans of Legos, so I'm going to tell you how SEO works by telling you why Lego is awesome. And it starts with the right user experience. Now, when you open the largest box of Legos, like this Taj Mahal set Yoast builds at our Yoast Lego Building Day, what you get is a very big book which tells you which packages are going to build which sections of that enormous box that you're about to build. Lego helps you every step along the way and makes the experience enjoyable at the same time. A similar user experience should always be the first thing on your mind. Your user should feel at home on your site. So, how can you make your user feel at home? There are a host of factors which we can identify, but there are 3 factors I want to explore in detail, and which we'll also go into in the rest of this course. The first one is site structure, the second one is technical excellence, and the last one is great content. So first of all, site structure is an important factor. How does a new visitor know where to go? How does a regular visitor know how to get to the specific piece he wants to get to quickly? The easier this is for users to do, the easier it is for Google as well. If a user can't navigate through links from related pages, neither can Google. In that case, how is Google supposed to know what pages are important? You should take the user and Google by the hand by implementing a clear site structure. We also need technical excellence. Imagine you have 2 completely identical sites content-wise. The better maintained one will always rank better. This comes down to the smallest of details. So going back to Lego, if you see this picture and then you see the next one, you'll notice that there's a slight difference. This is only a small difference in one specific area, but that one bit makes all the difference when you look at the total. There are so many sites on the web that have so many errors, like 404 pages not found errors, which can make it much more difficult for Google to crawl the site. You have to maintain your site. You have to review and fix those 404s. You have to review your old content and fix errors and make sure that all of this works, because if you don't, you'll have to call in the fire brigade. One of the other technical things that has to do with good UX is that being slow is no longer an option. Years ago, Lego would throw all the pieces into one big sack and give you a book, and you'd have to find all of them. They've since realized that if you get a very big box, it's actually easier to split that into smaller pieces, so you can build a smaller piece and then open the next sack and work on your second piece. This all has to do with speed. For you and your website, being slow is no longer an option. We'll come back to site speed later in this course. The third thing that you really need is a good story. Take, for example, this restaurant, which has an entire story within. If you look at this ground floor, for example, there are a man and a woman sitting in front of each other, with this woman holding a glass of wine and the man holding a ring. And there's a waiter walking in with a bottle of champagne, and he's running, and he's coming to congratulate them because they've just gotten engaged probably. So this is a story that Lego tells within its box. This entire story is, it would have been needed to sell that box, but it makes it so much better. So to translate this to you and your website, what are you doing to make sure that people talk about you? What are you doing to make sure that people actually think you're not only worthy of following, but also why should they share what they're reading with their friends? Is your news truly newsworthy? There are so many sites out there that have copywriters write pieces of content that nobody will ever read and nobody wants to read. It's really quite sad, and writing just for SEO doesn't work anymore. You should write because people will want to know what you have to say. If they don't want to know about what they're going to read, then you're doing it wrong. And let's be honest, nobody wants to perform in an empty room, but at the same time, you'll have to start out, and you'll probably have to start out with nothing. So you're going to have to build from the bottom up. Nobody becomes a celebrity overnight, right? And almost every site and successful story you'll see is the result of years and years of hard work, including our own site. So that means that I'm not going to tell you that what we teach you is going to work tomorrow. It will take a lot of work and it'll take months to get there. Now, we've discussed 3 elements, but there are even more elements to holistic SEO. It also means thinking about security. It means thinking about marketing in a more general sense. It means thinking about link building and much more. In short, you're going to have to do everything in order to make your website awesome and keep it that way. So there are no tricks, there are no shortcuts. You're just going to have to work to be the best result. And in this course, we're going to explore the very basics of becoming exactly that best result.
Hey, you now know a lot more about the way we practice and teach SEO at Yoast. Obviously, we feel that to do good SEO, you need a holistic training experience as well. And that's exactly what you'll find in our free SEO for Beginners course in Yoast Academy. It has additional reading materials, quizzes, and everything you need to make sure you'll remember and apply this knowledge in the long run. When you complete the training, you'll also receive an official Yoast certificate of completion and a discount for our other training courses. Check out the full course in the description below.